All right, Chuck, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Go ahead and feel your feet on the floor, or whatever part of you is connected to something. Allow yourself to feel that connection. Allow yourself to feel centered and grounded. Allowing yourself to be right here, right now, as present as possible, so as to receive maximum benefit from this hour. Just following your breath through your body, just allow yourself to be aware of what's going on in there. Noticing what you're feeling physically and what you're feeling emotionally. Just paying attention as you think about what could have made this past week great, and what can you do to make this week great. Just allow yourself to be aware of what you feel physically, be aware of what you feel emotionally, be aware of any thoughts, beliefs, or memories that might come up. Allow yourself to think about actions that you could take this week, such that the next time we speak, you would say, I had a great week. Imagine yourself taking those actions and notice where there might be some resistance, either to the action itself or to the outcome. Just allowing yourself to be aware of what feels important and what feels relevant. And take a deep breath. Let it go. Open your eyes. Go ahead and start tapping.
So a quick acknowledgement.
Mm-hmm.
You are a good observer. Oh, let me get this right here. Because you noticed that I breathe longer than probably most people. And you adjusted you worked with me on that. You just let me breathe longer, and then you slowed your routine down. And I appreciate that. I like to breathe longer, so.
I like to breathe longer too. And I wish I could take credit for that. The fact is, Chuck, I can't even see you right now because the camera is facing up.
Oh.
Well, but I may have intuitively sensed.
I noticed last week and I didn't say anything, but maybe not. Yeah, I'm being a low.
Oh, I thought you were talking about just now, and I thought,
No.
I couldn't see it.
No, now too, but
yeah.
Because it used to be in the beginning, not putting it on you, but I was feeling rushed, and then I haven't felt that the last couple of times. So I think you picked up on it.
But I think also it's quite normal as people work together that they become more in tune with each other.
Yes, that's
I do sometimes worry that I take too long on the breathing, and some people are like, "When are you going to let me change my breath?"
Yes,
I try to be sensitive to that as well.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, quick, just be tapping first. Did you go live on Thursday?
I did not.
Okay.
I just wasn't ready.
Okay.
And I think I am soon. I have some energy around that, half and half. Half of me is like, I renegotiated with myself and I'm like, I'm not ready and I'm not going to force it. And I was okay with that. But the other half of me feels, and through your direction, I want to work on reshaping this. But I was like almost like I let you down. And I know you don't feel that way. It's concocted in my head, but that's a reality that I wanted you to know about.
Yeah.
That when I'm not getting stuff done, I don't want you to be the reason that that's not effective for it to be external and trying to please somebody. It comes from my pleasing self.
Right.
So I just wanted you to know about that. I dealt with
that's part of what makes coaching effective is the accountability, because as human beings, and I'm not saying it's wrong or right, it's not right or wrong. It's just a natural thing of human beings that when we make a commitment to someone else, when we tell somebody else we're going to do something, we put ourselves on the line. It has nothing. It doesn't really have to do with the other person, because I'm not affected by it. It's not something that I need from you in terms of any kind of coaching or accountability.
I like that. Yeah.
But it is a natural thing. This is, this is why, people
I'm going to
making
interrupt you here
estimates.
because my computer is staring me in the face and I want to get that distraction out. So,
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's just a natural thing in human beings that when we make a public declaration, there's something inside of us that says, all right, I'm putting my money where my mouth is now. And so we add that pressure. And we may say, well, it's pressure from the other person, but it's our own
yeah, no, it's
stuff going
definitely
on.
mine. So let me rephrase it then, because I really like what you said there. Um, I want to reshape it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like a teacher as opposed to a mentor. Um, and so I just want to, like, you know, just reshape that a little bit, where, um, like when I think about you, um, I want to be energized by that, what you're talking about, the accountability piece, as opposed to like you're slapping my hand or something like
Threatened.
that.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
don't want to feel, yeah. Yeah. We don't want it where I'm an authority figure that you feel intimidated by or
right.
threatened by or anything like
Yeah.
that. No,
Yeah.
entirely a cheerleader to,
And intellectually, I know that.
absolutely. Yeah.
And there's 100%. I'm appreciative, and the progress that I've made since we started working together is significant, and really, um, even above that, it's um, I mean, I have so much work to go. I want to say life changing, but I got it has been though. It hasn't. It's not complete, but I've made changes that are really significant.
Well, we're always works in progress. You're not
Yes.
going to be complete until the
Yeah,
Lord calls you home.
that's right.
So, but every positive step we take is technically life changing.
Yes, indeed.
So, yeah.
And speaking of that, I know you were going somewhere, but I just want to tell you this one other thing.
Hmm.
So um, I don't call myself like a hoarder or a pack rat. I don't think that would describe me, but I'm exceptionally messy. Or let me say, I've had a tendency to be exceptionally messy.
There you go.
And so I decided, um, and and I'm not one really exceptional thing about my wife and I that is gone now. We were very well yoked in some areas of our lives, and I like to clean, but I don't like to organize. Or historically, I'm gonna change this. So, but she was great at. So, I mean, I did a lot of the cooking and cleaning, and I did all of that, and she just organized stuff. She's amazing at. My gosh, when she's packing, I'm just watching her, and I'm like, this is unbelievable. But anyway, I hired an organizer,
Excellent.
and she cleaned too. But my room, I'm sitting here looking at my room, and it's so refreshing. I mean, it's not perfect. I've got about maybe 2 hours max worth of work to get my house where it's everywhere is. But she did my kitchen and organized it. And while she was doing that, I it motivated me to clean my office. And it just is. It's just refreshing is the word. But anyway, I feel like that's going to be a springboard. And also, I typed everything in the computer. So when I've got boxes and I've got numbers on the boxes, and if I can't find something, I just pull up my spreadsheet and type it in, and oh, it's in box 16 or whatever. It's my storage unit is all done like that, and so I've never been organized like that. So to say that I'm not organized, Um, I am as organized, I think, as I've ever been in my life, and I'm not as optimally as I would want, but I've got the foundation for it.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Nothing's so good that it can't get better,
Yeah,
but acknowledging, wow, it's a shift, and that again makes a huge difference. Our environment makes a huge difference on our
yeah,
well-being and our productivity.
yeah, yeah. And because I know that, my environment was even worse because I'm sitting there playing that message in my head,
Yeah.
and I'm 63 years old. I can't even clean up, and but here's the biggest thing, and the reason why I have more motivation. Um, the conversation that we had last week about women, and my evolution. One evolving piece is that if I'm going to live with somebody, I need to honor their space and be, my car and my place need to be. They don't have to be impeccable, but they have to be good. At least good, better, or best, but at least good.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I'm committing to that. And once you get it done, once you get it here, a little bit farther, which I'm going to finish the other 2 hours this week. But then I'm going to set aside 15, 20 minutes a day. And, um, it's not, it doesn't take that much to be clean when you're already clean. So
Yeah.
anyway, thought
Yeah.
I'd throw that out there for you.
Excellent. All right. So, what actions do you need to take to make this a great week?
Well, I will tell you that I did make some good progress on my trading, and really what I'm focusing on is me. The joys of trading um, can't really happen until I become, a good enough trader to be able to teach other people. I've got to be. So that's what I focused in on. I'm like, I really got to get better, and I dug into. Um, I learned a lot. Um, stuff that has not any really new information, but just like sink it in. I am historically learning sometimes takes a little bit longer, but once I get it, um, I'm strong at it. But I do have some. If I was in high school today, I um, I would be uh, what do you call it? I would have a special ed classification. Now, um, that's it's not that I'm not smart because if I wouldn't have gotten through college if I wasn't probably higher than average, on the scale. But school was a big time struggle for me. I really it was really hard, and even today, reading something and I'm trying to process. So that's a challenge, but nothing that I'm not going to overcome. So anyway, this week, to make it a great week, um, I'm trying to put like this is one of those things that it's hard to put a marker on it. Releasing, um, you know, being going live. That's a definitive piece, and but I have to become profitable, and I wasn't this week. And but the one thing that I committed to, but I didn't finish because I was more concerned with the other. But I will definitely commit to this week, no matter what. Is that piece that I told you that I put in the picture that I check it off? I didn't do that, and really, as I watch these videos, I'm like, that's all in that picture. I, you in order to be a successful trader, you have to. There's like 4 or 5 areas, that all have to be met. If you trade without doing this one or that one, you could win. Like one day, I mean, gosh, I don't know how much. If I would have been making money, it probably have been $1,000. I just sat there and watched this green go up and up and up, and I just followed it right up the line. And they call them pips, but it's just a measurement.
Mhm.
And I made a lot of money, but it was a ruse. It was a paper tiger. It wasn't it wasn't anything that I did. I just got lucky. And and I'm not trying to put myself down. What I mean, the truth is, if you get, they call it euphoria. Trading euphoria is not, it's not productive. You look at every trade. It's kind of like a real good baseball player. It's kind of matter of fact. It's like, but even if you lose, you all you do is evaluate. I mean, even if you win, all you do is it's no emotion behind it. It's like, okay, so you won. Was the trade done properly? That's all that matters. It needs to be an emotionless activity. It's just
Then how do you call it the joys of trading?
Good one. Well, and yeah, the joy is found in
I get it. The joy is in the overall thing, not in the direct.
Not in
Yeah.
being disciplined and all that kind of stuff. And
same with the joys of being an athlete. You can't sit there and be celebrating while you're running around the bases.
Emmett Smith, I liked his quote. Act like you've been there before. I like that.
There you go. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And just following your breath through your body, just allowing yourself to be aware of what's going on in there. And thinking about what you want to create personally and professionally. And just noticing how your body responds even before your mind might respond. Ask yourself, what might be in my way? Including any thoughts about, oh, I feel threatened. I had this threat about Brad being an authority figure or whatever. Wherever, since you had brought that up, but anything where you might feel like here's something that might be a stumbling block for me that keeps me from being at my best.
So I'm going to respond to about you, because you kind of joked about joy. If I'm doing this for you, I'm not going to find joy. And I'm going to focus on that. This week, I'm going to focus on finding joy in the journey.
And that might be difficult if ... You just feel what goes on inside. What would limit you from finding joy in the journey?
Well, it's like I used the word nebulous earlier. It's not as definable. I mean, joy is not as definable. It's like give your best effort, and then and that's really kind of where I'm at. I want to some experts, some of them want timelines, all this kind of stuff, and some of them say just find joy in what you do and then apply yourself to that, and the wins will be an outcome. But to answer your question, so to evaluate based off of based on effort and that I was disciplined, which is I guess a part of to be aware of the blocks and resistant that I have. This was a good, a productive week in some ways, but the commitments that I made I still haven't started um, the um, the habit tracker, and I moved it. I got that far, but and so that one is definable.
Yeah. So let's close your eyes, Chuck,
Okay, all right.
and imagine yourself using the habit tracker. Imagine, checking things off each day, those activities that you know are good for you personally and professionally. And just follow your breath through your body and just notice without judgment. Do not judge yourself for not using it yet. Just allow yourself to go, oh, isn't that interesting? There's some resistance. And notice where you feel it physically, where you might feel it emotionally. And notice what thoughts, beliefs, or memories might come up as to why you might have that resistance.
So I feel it, in my sternum area is where I feel that kind. But it's interesting that the phrase "trying to find out who's naughty and nice" came into my mind. And so um, here, I'm going to make this go like this so you can see me tapping, or at least a little bit better. But um, and I think the whole shift where I'm going to find joy. This is some of it. This is not a moral.
It's not a judgment tool.
It's not a judgment tool, and so um, that's historically.
Yeah. Let's just jump in here. Let's jump in here. I don't know, because there's a couple of things coming up. Even though I'm resisting judgment,
Even though I'm resisting judgment,
I choose to love and accept myself.
I choose to love and accept myself.
Even though I'm feeling.
I want you to stop a second there because I want to understand that. Resisting judgment.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to change. I was changing the words on the next phrase because it's not.
Okay.
That wasn't quite
what you were
sorry
trying to
about
get.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. No worries.
Sometimes I'll just throw out words. It's like we'll get there. We're going to work our way around.
You're on the fly. That's your job. So it's hard to get it right on spot on every time.
Even though I'm feeling some judgment.
Even though I'm feeling some judgment.
I choose to love and accept myself.
I choose to love and accept myself.
Even though I'm feeling some judgment.
Even though I'm feeling some judgment.
I choose to love and honor myself.
I choose to love and honor myself.
Even though I'm feeling some judgment.
Even though I'm feeling some judgment.
And that makes me uncomfortable.
And that makes me uncomfortable.
And part of me even wants to rebel against that.
So what's coming to my mind right here is my mom. And my mom was a heavy duty judger. I don't need to go into that. You understand that. So just kind of that whole, generational copy and what I saw kind of thing. It's going, I think it's easy for me to slip into that sometimes.
Yeah.
Not to blame her, but
yeah,
it's
just note acknowledging what's there. That's important.
Yeah.
I feel all this pain of judgment.
I feel all this pain of judgment.
I have a lot of judgment buttons.
I have a lot of judgment buttons.
And different things push those buttons.
And different things push those buttons.
That fear of not doing what Brad said to do.
That fear of the ogre coming up. That fear of that Brad is judging me.
And even though I have this judgment pain.
Pain, you said?
Yeah.
Even though I have this judgment pain.
I choose to deeply and completely.
I choose to deeply and completely.
Love, honor, and accept myself.
Love, honor, and accept myself.
And mom.
And mom.
And maybe anyone else involved.
And maybe anyone else involved.
All this old judgment pain.
All this old judgment pain.
all this old judgment pain,
All this old judgment pain,
all this pain of being told that I'm doing it wrong,
all of this um, judgment that I'm told that I'm doing it wrong,
all this fear that I'm not doing it well enough.
all of this fear that I'm not doing it well enough.
And so I look at different things.
So I look at different things.
And if there's the possibility that I'll be judged,
Let me just throw something in here.
yeah,
Um, I'm wondering if I'm afraid of losing money is a part of that.
oh yeah,
Not, I'm not wondering. I'm making. Let me change that to a statement. I'm afraid of losing money, and I'm going to lose money. That's, you know, you want to win more. You want to profit more than you lose,
but there's no guarantees.
but you can't. That was that one gal that I was talking to you about last week. That was her problem. She didn't want to lose. So that's the same thing, huh? And I was judging her. That was a joke. Somewhat. I mean, it's true.
Except that it wasn't, but that's okay. It was a good it was a great awareness check, because I was actually, that I knew that would come up in the tapping of, that's why you're holding back. It's like, as soon as I go live, I'm on the board, and I'm on the line to be judged and to find out that I'm doing it wrong. I'm not doing it good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not talented enough. So there's all these, once you enter the arena, you can be judged.
Right.
So that,
Yeah.
financially and emotionally and professionally. And yeah.
Yeah. All of that list of things that I showed you don't even come into play until you put money on the line. So with that said, I am going to do this Thursday, and because by Thursday I'll be in a place where I'm never going to be perfect. This is a very complex field. There's hundreds and probably thousands of techniques. I don't need to learn all of them, but you only need a few to be successful. And so I need to get in. I don't need to do anything.
Thank you.
I want to get in the game, to allow myself to both win and lose.
Does it matter that this Thursday is Thanksgiving?
Oh, it does. So be Friday.
Yeah. Okay. All this fear of judgment.
All of this fear of judgment.
All this fear of judgment.
All of this fear of judgment.
All this fear of being judged.
All of this fear of being judged.
All this past pain of being judged.
All of this past pain of being judged.
All this past pain of being told that I'm not doing it right.
All of this past pain of told that I'm not doing it right.
All this past pain of being told I'm not good enough.
All of this past pain of being told that I'm not good enough.
By mom.
By mom.
By teachers.
By teachers.
By all kinds of people.
By all kinds of people.
And I've judged others.
And I've judged others.
Because it's what human beings do.
Because it's what human beings do.
And I'm allowing myself to let this go.
And I'm allowing myself to let this go.
All this fear of being judged.
All of this fear of being judged.
As soon as I start using the habit tracker.
As soon as I start using the habit tracker.
There's a measure of whether I'm doing it right or not.
There's a measure of
whether I'm doing it right or not.
Of whether I'm doing it right or not.
And I'm so afraid that I won't do it perfectly.
And I'm so afraid that I won't do it perfectly.
That part of me says.
Part of me says.
If you can't do it perfectly, don't do it at all.
I told my ex-wife one time that I was a perfectionist. And after she got through losing it in laughter, she didn't really understand the concept, but I've let that plague me that like when I want to clean the house, I want to get the toothbrush out and, clean every corner. And by the time I get, if it's a 2 hour job, by the time I get 30 minutes into it, I just quit because it's impossible, it's just grueling to try to do that. And I want to bring joy to my trading. So anyway,
I can't afford to not be perfect.
I can't afford to not be perfect.
That's what part of me says.
That's what part of me says.
I cannot afford to not be perfect.
I cannot afford to not be perfect.
If I don't enter the arena,
if I don't enter the arena,
whether it's with trading,
whether it's with trading
or doing a habit tracker,
or doing a habit tracker,
or cleaning my house,
or cleaning my house, or women,
if I don't put in any effort,
if I don't put in any effort,
then my effort can't really be judged.
Then my effort can't really be judged.
But if I'm going to enter the arena,
it
better be perfect.
It better be perfect.
I can't afford to start something and not be perfect.
I can't afford to do something and not be perfect.
Right down to the habit tracker.
Right down to the habit tracker.
I don't want to use the habit tracker.
I don't want to use the habit tracker.
If there's the possibility that I might not do it perfectly.
If there's a possibility that I might not do it perfectly.
And then it'll be staring me in the face.
And then it'll be staring me in the face.
Telling me that I'm not perfect.
Telling me that I'm not perfect.
It might as well say I'm not good enough.
It might as well say that I'm not good enough.
If the boxes aren't all checked.
If the boxes are all not checked.
Then it's telling me I'm not good enough.
Then it's telling me that I'm not good enough.
And I love and appreciate that part of me.
I love and appreciate that part of me.
That is understandably resisting that.
That's understandably resisting.
I love and appreciate myself.
I love and appreciate myself.
For avoiding that pain.
For avoiding that pain.
And I'm processing this.
Part of the reason why I mess up following what you're doing is because I'm processing. My brain's like going 1,000 miles an hour.
That's why I often trip over words in videos and tabbing. It's like it's coming through so fast. So yeah. I'm not judging you for it. Geez, Chuck, you're just not speaking right.
I thought you were a speech communication major. What's up?
All this pain of not being perfect.
All of this pain of not being perfect.
And part of me remembers.
And part of me remembers.
All of my mom's judgment.
All of my mom's judgment.
I'm not blaming her.
I'm not blaming her.
I'm just allowing myself to be aware of it.
I'm just becoming aware of it.
And I'm processing it.
And I'm processing it.
We were both doing the best we could.
I told people in my Sunday school class, that I've been working with you, and I said, the two things that I've shared was one, just the given people grace and myself. That's we're all trying as hard as we can. So, and I am trying as hard as I can.
In any of those times that mom judged me.
In any of those times that mom judged me.
I was doing the best I could.
I was doing the best I could.
Not the best that I was capable of.
Not the best that I was capable of.
In terms of potential.
In terms of potential.
Because I'm more competent than I know.
I'm more competent than what?
Than I know.
Oh, that I know. Okay.
I'm smarter than I know.
I'm smarter than I know.
But I'm not able to do all I can do.
But I'm not able to do all I can do.
In all circumstances.
In all circumstances.
Depending on the pressures.
Depending on the pressures.
And all kinds of different things.
and all kinds of different things.
There may have been some times
There may have been some times
where a mom may have judged me,
where mom may have judged me,
and I could have quite rightly said,
and I could have quite rightly said,
I could have done better if you hadn't been so judgmental.
I could have done better if you hadn't been so judgmental.
And I'm leaving the past in the past.
And I'm leaving the past in the past.
The habit tracker is not judging me.
The habit tracker is not judging me.
It's just a tool for growth.
It's a tool for growth.
It's just a checklist.
It's just a checklist.
Checklists are very beneficial.
Checklists are very beneficial.
When airplane mechanics
When airplane mechanics
and hospital staff
and hospital staff
use checklists,
use checklists,
lives are saved.
they say that lives are saved.
It would be really, a lot of lives would be lost
A lot of lives would be lost
if these people
if these people.
avoided checklists because they felt judgmental.
Yeah, I'm not going to lose my life, but I'll gain my freedom. I mean, or I give up my, not prison, but what's the word opposite of freedom? I have a self-imposed,
Yeah.
jail, if you want to say it, whatever. I don't want to make it like good or bad, but it's a self-imposed sentence on myself. It doesn't have to be like, it's not a bad thing, but that's by me mastering that checklist. It's going to be a crucial piece of setting me free. So
Yeah. It's just a reminder of what I can do
it's just a reminder of what I can do
to be my best self
to be my best self
and live my best life.
and live my best life.
No judgment.
No judgment.
Brad's never going to ask me to see it.
Brad's never going to ask me to see it.
Brad isn't going to judge me on anything.
Brad isn't going to judge me on anything.
Just going to cheer me on.
Just cheer me. He's going to just cheer me on.
I'm setting myself free from this judgment.
I'm setting myself free from this judgment.
People are going to judge me.
People are going to judge me.
I'm likely to judge myself.
I'm likely to judge myself.
And I can still feel peace.
And I can still feel peace.
I can even feel joy.
I can even feel joy.
And that's the word of the day.
And that's the word of the day.
The word of the year.
The word of the year.
The word of this lifetime.
The word of this lifetime.
And I'm clearing what gets in the way of joy.
I'm clearing of what gets in the way of joy.
Including all this fear of judgment.
Including all of this fear of judgment.
Why should I let a checklist limit my joy?
Why should I let a checklist limit my joy?
And part of me has answers.
And part of me has answers.
Based on being judged as not good enough.
Based on being judged as not being good enough.
And I'm allowing myself to clear up that misunderstanding.
So I just add one thing right here. When I see papers like that where you're tracking, or like my journal, I haven't put a journal in since October the 23rd, an entry.
Mm-hmm.
And I historically, I've not completed stuff. And so, there's this piece of like, for, one, setting up proper expectations. It's more effective to do it and not do it a day and come back 2 days later and do it than it is to just stop doing it since, October 23rd. I haven't done it because I tell myself, well, I'm just not, look, it's been 2 weeks or whatever, not 2 weeks, almost a month. And so, like, I don't know if that's just some of it's not judging myself, what we're talking about right now. So anyway, move on.
Even though I'm judging myself,
Even though I'm judging myself,
I choose to love and accept myself.
I choose to love and accept myself.
Even though I judge myself,
Even though I judge myself,
I choose to love and honor myself.
I choose to love and honor myself.
Even though I judge myself,
Even though I judge myself.
and sometimes
And sometimes
I just resign myself to that judgment.
I just resign myself to that judgment.
Like saying that I just don't finish things.
Like saying that I don't finish things.
Rather than feeling motivated by that judgment,
rather than feeling motivated by that judgment,
it feels more comfortable to resign myself to it.
It feels more comfortable to resign myself to it.
Which is why I haven't gotten back to journaling.
Which is why I haven't gotten back to journaling. And let me say this. I journaled for 2 days and it was amazing. I don't.
And even though I can really do a number on myself,
it's interesting because these are tears of joy and of regret. Because I realize, well, more importantly, I realize what, just what's available. I'm gonna stay there. We've already dealt with all that other stuff, but it's exciting to know that, I'm not going to be a very good Santa this year because my bag's about half full. That was a good joke, wasn't it?
I thought you were going to say because you've been losing weight. Nobody wants a skinny Santa.
Ho, ho, ho.
Setting myself free.
I'm setting myself free.
I'm setting myself free.
I'm setting myself free.
From past judgment.
From past judgment.
From past definitions.
Oh, definitions of myself like that? From past definitions.
Defining myself as someone who doesn't finish things.
Defining myself as someone who doesn't finish things.
Because that's BS.
Because that's BS.
There have been things that I haven't finished.
There have been things that I haven't finished.
But there have been tons of things that I have finished.
There have been tons of things that I have finished.
So to label myself.
To label myself.
As someone who doesn't finish things.
As someone who doesn't finish things.
Is entirely inaccurate.
It's entirely inaccurate.
But it feels safe to do that sometimes.
But it feels safe to do that sometimes.
So when I stop something like journaling.
So when I stop something like journaling.
And part of me might feel regret.
Part of me might feel regret.
Some part of me consoles myself.
What I've done is numb myself. I haven't really talked about this before, but, and I don't blame this on my wife, but we didn't have a good relationship. So I just checked out of, I just reconnected with a bunch of friends here in the last couple of months because that's not me at all. And I love people and I have really good friends that one of them I reconnected with, I had talked to in 40 years. But it's been a bunch of them and there's more out there. And I'm going to start going out with them and putting myself out there. But what I've done by not, like non-journaling and other stuff that's in that area is disconnecting. I've disconnected, and so anyway, I'm excited that this process is going to bring me back to journaling and back to connecting. I mean, we all have the gift of connecting, but I really honestly believe that God has I see the impact that I've made, and I still do today, but just because I've isolated myself like this, it's the impact is dissipated significantly. But I know that God has used me in a powerful way, and his intentions are to increase that, and mine too. So anyway.
And I'm clearing any resistance that gets in the way.
And I'm clearing any resistance that gets in the way.
All this old resistance.
All of this old resistance.
That stops me.
Say that it stops me.
That stops me. Stops me from following through.
It stops me from following through.
Stops me from getting started sometimes.
It stops me from getting started sometimes.
And I'm clearing my self-judgment about that.
I'm clearing my self-judgment about that.
And just allowing myself to be curious.
Just allowing myself to be curious.
When I'm not taking action.
When I'm not taking action.
It's not that I'm not good enough.
It's not that I'm not good enough.
It's not that I'm a bad boy.
It's not that I'm a bad boy.
It's that something is scaring me.
It's just that something is scaring me.
And I'm processing those fears.
And I'm processing those fears.
There's some misunderstanding.
There's some misunderstanding.
That gets in my way.
That gets in my way.
And I'm clearing up those misunderstandings.
And I'm clearing up those misunderstandings.
Just like the misunderstanding about the habit tracker.
Just like that misunderstanding of the habit tracker.
That it's a judgment tool.
That it's a judgment tool.
But I have my trading board.
But I have my trading board.
With a checklist.
With a checklist.
Do I have that same fear with that?
Do I have that same fear with that?
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Here's a reminder of things that are good for me to do.
I've just been floating out there with trades. Just like, it's like, if it's like, it gives me the freedom to, I don't have to judge myself. That's what it is. Some of these things, you know, it's the same. I mean, this is a little bit more subtle, but it is the same thing. If I just jump in, then I don't have to judge myself, because I have an excuse when I get done. I didn't do it right. And so I have this strange way of absolving myself of, I used to finish tests as I try to be the fastest one to finish a test. You know, somehow warped in my mind that, you know, that made me, you know, better than other people, because I got done for, I'd get up and I'd be like a rooster cocking up to the teacher. You know, I'd get a big fat F on the test, but I got done before everybody. And I was actually like a good student. Like, I could have done it. Like a math test, man, I just go through it, you know, read all over the place, and I'm looking at it. I probably could have aced the test. No kidding.
But you had programming that first is best.
Right. And this is the reason I tell that story is this it's a what do we call it in the counseling world? Erroneous thoughts. You know, it's just erroneous thinking is all it is. Because I've convinced myself that um, just jumping in. Um, and then I get done and I'm like, okay, I mean, I didn't even do it right. So what difference does it make? And so I hold myself to really a zero standard.
Yep.
And I passed.
Living high on lowered expectations.
Yeah.
Not because I'm bad or stupid.
Not because I'm bad or stupid.
Not because I am weak or lazy.
Not because I'm weak or lazy.
But because I had a lot of confusing programming.
Because I had a lot of confusing programming.
That defined me.
That defined me.
In inaccurate ways.
In inaccurate ways.
And I'm breaking free from that.
And I'm breaking free from that.
I'm redefining myself.
I'm redefining myself.
As someone who gets things done.
As someone who gets things done.
Someone who follows through.
Someone who follows through.
Someone who wants the best.
Someone who wants the best.
And is able to get it.
And is able to get it.
Without demanding perfection.
Without demanding perfection.
Setting myself free from perfectionism.
I'm setting myself free from perfectionism.
Because that's an incorrectly worded term.
That's interesting. That's an incorrectly worded term.
Because we only become perfect.
We only become perfect.
Through trial and error.
Through trial and error.
If we're unwilling to err.
If we're unwilling to err.
Then we'll never become perfect.
Then we'll never become perfect.
So how can we say we're perfectionists?
So how can we say we're perfectionists?
If we're not willing to do what it takes to be perfect.
If we're not willing to do what it takes to be perfect.
Way too much confusion around that concept.
Way too much confusion around that concept.
So I'm clearing that.
So I'm clearing that.
I'm awesome.
I'm awesome.
And I'm always getting better.
By the way, I got a good solid 10 on that.
And I'm always getting better.
And I'm always getting better.
And I take joy.
And I take joy
in opportunities to grow.
In opportunities to grow.
So I can even look at the habit tracker.
So I can even look at the habit tracker.
And see it as a joy tool.
That's what I'm going to rename it. I'm going to type that up, call it my joy tool.
This is something that helps me enhance my joy.
This is something that helps me enhance my joy.
Because it helps me enhance myself.
Because it helps me enhance myself.
Become a better version of myself.
To become a better version of myself.
And I enjoy that.
And I enjoy that.
I'm taking great joy.
I'm taking great joy.
In this journey.
In this journey.
I'm acknowledging when resistance shows up.
I'm acknowledging when resistance shows up.
Allowing myself to be curious rather than judgmental.
Allowing myself to be curious rather than judgmental. I will say that I've made tremendous strides in giving that grace to other people. I mean, plenty of room for growth there, but I'm continually asking myself, I wonder why, just that, wonder why, or whatever, just asking questions. And I'm going to get better at doing that for myself.
Excellent. Without demanding perfection of myself.
Without demanding perfection. I wonder why.
I'm allowing myself to get better and better.
I'm allowing myself to get better and better.
In body, mind, and spirit.
In body, mind, and spirit.
And take a deep breath. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Let me know what's going on in there.
I'm feeling that this is going to be a breakthrough week. I'm going to call it my grace giving week, because I'm going to give myself grace. And
awesome.
That's what I better write that one down. I got that one on tape. We did take that one, so that's good.
Happy Grace-giving.
Yeah. Is it already that time?
Well, we're going to close out with some guided imagery if you have
Yeah.
time for that.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. How do you feel about the habit tracker?
I feel good.
I'm sorry, the joy tool.
The joy tool. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pull it up and alter it, because that'll every time because I look at it, I mean, it's right there. I brush my teeth, I go pee, whatever it is, it's right there in front of me. So, um, you know,
yeah. So yeah, because everything you put on there is doing this will enhance my enjoyment of life.
have you seen that experiment where they take plants and they write words on the container?
I've seen the one with the water where they put words on containers of water and then freeze it. There's Masaru Emoto did that.
Well, they've done that with plants
as well. Yeah.
And these plants just flourish when they have like joy and love and peace and all that kind of stuff.
That's why my water bottle has peace, love, joy, and gratitude written on it, because it infuses the.
Do you put that in your signature too, or something? Have I seen that on something? When you write something, is that at the bottom of your signature?
Oh, at the bottom it says "Feel better, do better, live better."
Oh, okay, that might be what I remember. But anyway,
so
I'm gonna. I like that. I'm gonna have the joy tool. All right.
Cool.
So,
all right, get yourself comfy cozy. With your eyes closed, take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Another deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Third deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Breathing comfortably, and just imagine that with each breath you take in, you breathe in relaxation and positive energy. Go ahead and imagine a healing light surrounding your body, so that with each breath you take in, your lungs comfortably draw in that healing light, allowing it to flow through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. Imagine a healing shower flowing down crystal clear water that's a perfect temperature as it flows over the top of your head, soothing and relaxing your scalp, washing away fear, doubt, anxiety, washing away anger, sadness, guilt, shame, washing away pain, frustration, disappointment, embarrassment, washing these away to reveal the light that you truly are. This unique expression of divine light and love, allowing more and more of that light to be revealed as that healing shower flows over your forehead, relaxing the muscles in your face, flowing down over the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders, washing away tension, leaving your shoulders calm, comfortable, and relaxed. Healing shower flowing down your arms, all the way down over your fingertips, down over your chest and your stomach, soothing and relaxing, healing and cleansing, and allowing yourself to remain comfortably in whatever position you choose. Allow that healing shower to flow down over your upper and lower back. And as your torso relaxes, your internal organs comfortably do whatever they need to do to achieve and maintain your optimal level of health and well-being in body, mind, and spirit. As that healing shower continues down over your body, down over your hips and your thighs, over your knees, down your lower legs, through your ankles, into your feet. And finally, that relaxation flows over your toes as you allow yourself to relax twice as much, going at least twice as deep with each number as I count backwards: 5, drifting down to 4, floating down to 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. Deeper, deeper, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0 is deep sleep. And in this calm, comfortable state of mind and body, go ahead and imagine yourself in some really beautiful place. Some place where you allow yourself to be present to the beauty, the magnificence, the abundance of creation. Allowing yourself to remember that it is here for you as much as anyone else. Just allow yourself to be in this beautiful place, appreciating what you see. Whether you're looking at the ocean or the mountains or a forest, looking at stars up into the sky, just allowing yourself to stand there with a sense of awe, a sense of joy, a sense of appreciation. Allowing yourself to let go of any sense of judgment. Just allowing yourself to notice what's beautiful, what's awesome, and giving yourself permission from this moment on to look at yourself the same way. And knowing that there is more awesomeness to you that God has given you than you've allowed yourself to be aware of, which is normal for most human beings, possibly all human beings. So allowing yourself to enjoy the process of finding out more and more how awesome you are and how awesome you can be. And therefore, you can allow yourself to enjoy those processes that allow you to grow, to become a better version of yourself. Not judging the version of yourself that you've been, allowing yourself to have absolute compassion for who you've been. 50 years ago, 5 minutes ago. The past is past. Compassionately leaving the past in the past. Allowing yourself to look forward with a sense of joy and excitement, saying, let's see what can happen. And allowing yourself to commit yourself to loving yourself no matter what happens. Allowing yourself to be present to God's unconditional love. Allowing yourself to strive for that same unconditional love towards yourself. Letting go of the idea of perfection and settling for awesome. Allowing yourself to love yourself even more as we go even deeper now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. In a moment, I'll count you back out from 0 up to 5. 5 will be wide awake, alert, focused, and energetic, feeling much better than before. Feeling much more aware of your awesomeness and excited to enhance that, to discover more and more of the awesomeness that God has put inside of you. Tonight, when you choose to go to sleep, don't be surprised when you fall asleep quickly, soundly, deeply, and sleep very well through the night. During the night, you'll dream. The more you dream, the stronger you become. I'm going to ask your unconscious mind to allow at least one of your dreams to be a very healing dream. Continuing this healing process in body, mind, and spirit so that in the morning, at the time you've chosen to wake up, you wake up easily, feeling refreshed, energetic, and ready to start the day again, powerfully moving forward into that ever more joyful experience of an ever greater abundance of health, wealth, happiness, and love, which are your birthright and which benefit others. Now go back down to 0, which is always deep sleep, allowing your mind, body, and spirit to digest all of these positive thoughts and images, taking them in at a very deep level so that these positive changes occur easily, effortlessly, and naturally. Coming up to 1, feeling physically relaxed. 2, feeling emotionally calm and confident. 3, health and well-being, enthusiasm, love, joy, and gratitude flowing through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. 4, becoming more and more alert and aware of your surroundings. And 5 is eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. Welcome back.
Yep. Ooh, I was out there. I didn't fall asleep, but I was out there.
Yeah.
I found something interesting this week when breathing. One of the videos I was listening to says that instead of breathing through your nose up and down, that you breathe in and out. I've studied breathing for a long time, but I never have heard that concept before. It's interesting and it's harder to do, but this person said there's a lot of research on it that that's the most effective way to do it, is what they say. And it is, it's interesting. Like I'm learning how to do it when I run, when I walk. I'm not running yet, but when I walk, it's hard to do there, but just in general, it's interesting. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You're getting better and better.
Yeah. Every day.
Yeah.
Ever read that book, The 12th Angel?
I don't know that one.
By who's the blind guy? Do you know who that blind guy is? That's a motivational speaker.
No.
Yeah, he's a good writer.
Yep. Look that up.
Stovall, Jim Stovall.
Okay. Cool. I'll check.
Anyway, have a great week.
Thanks. You too. Happy Grace Giving.
Yes. I got to write that down.
All right. You take care, Chuck.
Take care. Bye-bye.